Two men look out of the same bars. One looks at the mud below, other looks at the stars. As a kid, I used to carry out a very interesting experiment with my friends. We used to take a magnifying glass and some bits of paper, and focusing the sun's rays very intently, we were able to burn the paper. Very interesting experiment for kids. However, when I look at it, it gives us a very profound life lesson. Wherever focus goes, energy flows. Whatever you focus on expands. There is nothing real in life except for what you're focusing on. So if there is a reality today which you have created in your life, it's only because you've focused on that and that became real for you. If you do not like your reality today or any part of your reality you want to change, just change your focus and everything else will change for you. Let me share with you a very interesting real life story that highlights the power of focus and how you can change your reality by changing your focus. W. Mitchell was a handsome young man who was working with a cable car company. In his late 20s, one day, W. Mitchell was riding a bike on a highway when something caught his attention, and for a moment he just looked away from the road. It was in that moment that a tragic accident happened. There was a truck or a trailer which tumbled down. Mitchell crashed into this trailer. To his misfortune, the petrol tank opened and there were fire all around. Mitchell's body got burnt 65%. He lost most of his fingers and his face was completely disfigured. When Mitchell regained his consciousness, he found himself in a hospital bed. Mitchell realized that this accident has changed the complete course of his life. But he had a choice. He had a choice to focus either on how this accident has devastated his life. He's become disfigured, he's lost his fingers, there are n number of things which he cannot do now. Or he could focus on how he can draw from his inner strength, learn from this experience and focus on things which he can do now and create an exceptional life. And I'm sure you guessed it right. Mitchell chose the latter. He chose to focus on drawing the inner strength and seeing how he can utilize this experience and do something better and greater with his life. And you know what was on the top of the list? Interestingly, the nurse who was serving Mitchell in the hospital and taking care of him in the hospital, she was the lady of his dreams. Mitchell focused on how I can get a date with this lady and create a beautiful, wonderful life with her. As I said, wherever focus goes, energy flows. Despite being 65% burnt, having lost his fingers, having a disfigured face, things which would have stopped a normal person from even asking somebody for a date, Mitchell not only dated the woman of his dreams, but also got married to her later. And they both created a wonderful life for themselves. Mitchell continued to focus on things he could do. He went ahead and lived pretty much a normal life. He created his own business, he drove cars, he also completed his pilot's training. But another tragedy was waiting for Mitchell. One day Mitchell was flying a plane along with some of his friends when due to ice on the wings, the plane crashed. This accident left Mitchell crippled. He was confined to a wheelchair because his spinal cord got completely injured. Mitchell again had a choice to see how this devastating accident has again destroyed his life, or he had a choice to focus on what he can do next. And I think you guessed it right again. Mitchell continued his focus and created a new reality for himself. Mitchell continued to focus on how he can create extraordinary, exceptional results for himself. Despite being crippled, despite the two accidents and despite being confined to a wheelchair, he did not let all of this stop him from achieving tremendous success in his life, social circles and his business. Mitchell focused on his business and grew it tremendously. His business was worth $65 million at a point in time. Through his philanthropic efforts, he helped save a local mountain from the excavation plans of a mining company. He also went ahead and became the mayor of Crested Butte, Colorado. Later, Mitchell became a motivational speaker, he's an author, and he travels across the globe giving people a message of hope and telling them it's not what happens to you, but what you do after that really matters. Mitchell's life is a resounding message for all of us that it's not what happens to you that really matters. What really matters is what you do with what happens to you. So here are a few things that you can learn from W. Mitchell to change your own reality and create new reality for yourself. Number one, life does happen. Life happens. There would be things which are out of your control, there would be challenges, there would be problems. But what really matters is your attitude. You can choose to focus on hope or hopelessness. It's your choice, which you have to make. Number two, learn to calm your mind, to control your mind and to condition it to see positive in every situation. calm the inner voice and the inner critic, and also stop listening to people around you. Be more centered, be more focused, and always look at the positive side or positive things in every situation. And number 3, remember the power of focus. Always keep a magnifying glass in front of you. And remember, whatever you focus on will expand. Wherever focus goes, energy flows. So in those moments when life happens, when you have choices, make a choice and consciously decide to focus on things that you can do rather than focusing on things that cannot be done or things which have gone bad. So if you practice these 3 lessons, I'm sure your life will definitely change and you can create the reality which you really want. Remember, 2 men looked out of the same bars. One looked at the mud below, other looked at the stars. I'll see you soon in my next video. Till then, stay blessed, keep rocking, and create wonderful realities for yourselves. Thank you.